Are you afraid of failing? What if I told you that losing could be your greatest strength? It might sound strange, but hear me out. We live in a world that's obsessed with winning. From an early age, we're taught that success is everything. We're pushed to come out on top, to be the best, to never accept defeat. But what if this mindset is actually holding us back? What if our fear of failure is the very thing that's stopping us from reaching our true potential? Today, we're going to explore a surprising secret to success. We're going to talk about why being a loser might just be your real superpower. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can losing possibly be good? Isn't the whole point of life to win? Well, that's exactly what we're going to challenge in this video. Let's start by talking about why we're so scared of failure. Think about it. When was the last time you were excited about the possibility of losing? For most of us, the very thought of failure brings up feelings of anxiety, shame, and disappointment. We worry about what others will think of us. We fear that we'll be seen as incompetent or weak. We're afraid that if we fail, it means we're not good enough. This fear of failure can be paralyzing. It stops us from taking risks, from trying new things, from pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones. We stick to what we know we can do well, rather than reaching for what might be possible. In essence, our fear of losing actually prevents us from truly winning. But what if we're looking at this all wrong? What if our definition of losing is flawed? Let's take a moment to redefine what it really means to be a loser. When we hear that word, we typically think of someone who's unsuccessful, who's at the bottom of the heap. But what if being a loser simply means being someone who's willing to take risks, to put themselves out there, to try and fail and try again? When we shift our perspective like this, we start to see the hidden benefits of setbacks. Every time we lose, we learn something new. We gain experience. We develop resilience. We become stronger, smarter, and more capable. In fact, it's often through our losses that we grow the most. Think about some of the most successful people in history. Did they get to where they are because they never failed? Of course not. They got there because they were willing to fail over and over again. They understood that each loss was a step towards their ultimate success. These people had something that many of us lack: a growth mindset. They saw each failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as an opportunity to learn and improve. They didn't let setbacks discourage them. Instead, they used those experiences to fuel their progress. This is the key to turning failure into a superpower. When we adopt a growth mindset, we start to see every loss as a valuable lesson. We understand that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a crucial part of the success process. Think about it this way. Failure is like a strict but fair teacher. It shows us where we need to improve. It highlights our weaknesses so we can work on them. It tests our determination and helps us build the mental toughness we need to succeed in the long run. But here's the thing. To learn from failure, we need to be willing to fail in the first place, and that takes courage. It means overcoming our fear of judgment. It means being willing to look foolish, to make mistakes, to fall flat on our faces in front of others. This is where many people get stuck. They're so afraid of what others will think that they never take the risks necessary for real growth and success. But here's a secret. Most people are too busy worrying about their own failures to spend much time judging yours. And those who do judge, well, they're probably not the ones out there taking risks and making things happen. So how do we develop the courage to fail? It starts with changing our perspective. Instead of seeing failure as something to be avoided at all costs, we need to start seeing it as a necessary step on the path to success. We need to understand that every no gets us closer to a yes, that every mistake teaches us something valuable, that every setback is an opportunity for a comeback. This is what we mean by failing forward. It's about using our losses as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. It's about learning from each failure and using that knowledge to do better next time. It's about understanding that success isn't a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs, of victories and defeats. The real superpower here is persistence. It's the ability to keep going when things get tough, to pick yourself up after every fall and try again, to understand that giving up is the only true failure. This kind of persistence is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't. But to persist, we need to reframe our idea of success. We need to understand that winning isn't everything. In fact, sometimes the attempt is more valuable than the outcome. Every time we try and fail, we're developing skills, gaining experience, and building character. These are the things that will ultimately lead to success, even if the path is longer and more winding than we expected. So how can we put this into practice? How can we learn to use our losses as a superpower? Here are some practical tips. First, change your relationship with failure. Instead of dreading it, start to see it as a natural and necessary part of growth. When you fail at something, don't beat yourself up. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to do better next time? Second, set learning goals instead of performance goals. Instead of focusing solely on the outcome, like winning a competition or getting a promotion, focus on what you want to learn or improve. This way, even if you don't achieve the desired outcome, you still gain something valuable. Third, practice failing in small ways. Take small risks regularly. Try new things, even if you're not sure you'll be good at them. The more you experience small failures and survive them, the less scary bigger failures will seem. Fourth, surround yourself with supportive people. Find friends, mentors, or colleagues who understand the value of failure and who will encourage you to keep going when things get tough. Fifth, keep a failure journal. Write down your failures, what you learned from them, and how you plan to do better next time. This can help you see your progress over time and turn negative experiences into positive lessons. Sixth, celebrate your failures. Yes, you read that right. Celebrate them. Not because you're happy about failing, but because each failure means you had the courage to try. It means you're pushing yourself, learning and growing. Now let's talk about why being okay with losing is your greatest strength. When you're not afraid to fail, you become unstoppable. You're willing to take risks that others won't. You're able to learn and improve faster. You're resilient in the face of setbacks. You're not paralyzed by perfectionism or the fear of judgment. This mindset can transform your life in countless ways. In your career, it can lead you to take on challenging projects, speak up with innovative ideas, or even start your own business. In your personal life, it can help you form deeper relationships, try new experiences, and continually grow as a person. Being okay with losing doesn't mean you don't try to win. It doesn't mean you don't care about success. It simply means that you understand that losing is a part of the process, and that each loss brings you closer to your ultimate goals. Think about how liberating this can be. Imagine not being held back by the fear of failure. Imagine being able to pursue your dreams without the paralyzing worry of what might go wrong. Imagine being able to learn and grow from every experience, good or bad. This is the real superpower we're talking about. It's not about never failing. It's about using your failures to fuel your success. It's about being resilient, persistent, and always willing to learn. It's about understanding that in the grand scheme of things, the willingness to try and fail is far more important than any single victory. So how do you develop this superpower? It starts with a decision to change your relationship with failure, a decision to see losing not as something to be feared, but as something to be learned from, a decision to value growth and learning over short-term success. From there, it's about practice. Like any skill, becoming comfortable with failure takes time and effort. You'll need to push yourself out of your comfort zone regularly. You'll need to face your fears and do things that scare you. You'll need to learn to silence that inner critic that tells you you're not good enough. But with each step, with each risk taken, with each failure faced, you'll grow stronger. You'll become more resilient. You'll learn to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You'll develop the courage to pursue your dreams, no matter how big or scary they might seem. Remember, every great success story is also a story of failure. Behind every breakthrough, every innovation, every achievement, there are countless setbacks, mistakes, and losses. The difference is that those who achieve great things aren't stopped by these failures. They use them as fuel, as lessons, as stepping stones to their ultimate success. So are you ready to embrace your inner loser? Are you ready to turn your failures into your greatest strength? Are you ready to unleash this superpower and see where it can take you? It won't be easy. There will be times when you'll want to give up, when the fear of failure seems overwhelming. But remember, every time you push through that fear, every time you pick yourself up after a fall, you're growing stronger. You're building that superpower. And here's the beautiful thing. As you develop this ability to learn from failure, as you build your resilience and persistence, you'll likely find that you start to succeed more often. Not because you're failing less, but because you're learning more from each failure. You're adapting faster, improving constantly, and pushing yourself further than you ever thought possible. This is the paradox at the heart of our message today. By becoming comfortable with losing, you set yourself up to win in the long run. By embracing failure as a teacher, you open yourself up to levels of success you might never have achieved otherwise. So what's holding you back? What fears are keeping you from taking those risks, from putting yourself out there, from being willing to fail? Take a moment to reflect on this. Identify those fears, acknowledge them, and then ask yourself, what if I could move past these fears? What could I achieve if I wasn't held back by the fear of failure? Now we want to hear from you. Have you had experiences where a failure led to unexpected growth or success? How do you deal with the fear of failure in your own life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your story could be just what someone else needs to hear to start their own journey of turning failure into a superpower. And if you found value in this video, if it's helped you think differently about failure and success, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you content that challenges conventional thinking and helps you unlock your full potential. Remember, being a loser, in the sense of being willing to try, fail, and learn, might just be the most powerful thing you can do. It's not about the outcome of any single attempt. It's about who you become through the process of trying, failing, and trying again. So go out there, take risks, be willing to fail, learn from every experience, and watch as this superpower transforms your life in ways you never thought possible. Thank you for watching, and here's to your journey of turning failure into your greatest strength. Until next time, keep pushing, keep learning, and keep growing. Your future self will thank you for it.